Thank you so much, Brother Steve and my friends. A very, very heartfelt welcome to you. Please know your presence on this semi-monsoony day is truly a blessing. Okay, I'm always forgetting, but I remember now. My first task is to ring this bell, and the moment I do, please know that you are glued to your seats. And the only time you can really get up that's justifiable is if you have a need to go to the sanctuary of release. Straight ahead. Okay, my friends, here you are, being glued now to your seats. Okay, my friends, now we have a tradition of always calling our ancestors, acknowledging the land, divine feminine. Salaju, who goes next? Brother Max.
Thanks, Brother Jamal. One of my wife Kathy's and my spiritual ancestors was Sister Margaret Anna Cusack, who was born in Dublin in 1829. She was born to rich Irish Anglicans. She was a nun, first an Anglican, then a Catholic, then an Anglican, then a Methodist, due to trouble with the Catholic Church. Her name was suppressed by the Church until Vatican II. She was a passionate and difficult person. She worked with the poor, advocated for tenant farmers, established a famine relief fund, protested about oppressive British landlords, and wrote much to advocate for the poor and against British oppression of the peasants in Ireland, as well as devotional tracts. She got death threats because of opposing landlords. She was an Irish nationalist, which goes to show, for me personally, that not everything about an ancestor has to fit, since I think nationalism is a problem. She supported a socialist priest. She established training schools for migrants in America, or migrants to America, and houses for homeless women in Nottingham and in New Jersey. She was devoted to the Virgin Mary and believed she had appeared at Knock in Ireland. She founded the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Peace in 1884, of which Kathy and I are longtime associates. It's an international congregation of non-cloistered sisters here and in New Jersey and in the UK, which works in global places, including El Salvador, advocates for social justice. Some of its sisters have been jailed for protests here in the UK and El Salvador. Some of them actually seek out going to jail. They lie in front of arms fairs in London trying to get arrested, and they usually succeed. Nottingham and New Jersey now have houses for migrant women, among many other ministries. You may know of the Peace Health Hospital System in Bellingham in Oregon. That's theirs. They have also Paz Salud in El Salvador, which, among other things, is an eye clinic for people. Many associates of the congregation are fans of Jamal, which is how we became a fan of Jamal.
Thank you, Brother Max. As a man, I've recently discovered I'm half Irish and longtime former resident of New Jersey. I'm going to learn more about that, my spiritual ancestor. Thank you. But I'm actually here to acknowledge that this land that Interfaith Community Sanctuary sits on, and land for, I would say that many of the conflicts that have we are so distressed about might be better served if we were able to acknowledge and give space to the original native ancestors of that land, who had this land sacred and had held the flora, the fauna in trust for their descendants, which at this time are us. The land that this community sits on is originally Duwamish land. They were part of the Coast Salish people, and we acknowledge their sacrifices, their struggles, and we also acknowledge that they never ceded this land to us, but we held it in trust for them too. I would like to do one last prayer. If you would like to learn more about the Duwamish people, though, they have our website, realrentduwamish.org. That title comes from the fact that while they are acknowledged through Chief Seattle and the other members of their community as the original settlers of this land, they've never been acknowledged by the U.S. government. So we hope that they're able to be acknowledged in that way and get all the rights and privileges that other tribes have. But I would like to do, and please go to the longhouse that's on Marginal Way. It's a wonderful experience. I'd like to do a short prayer that our spiritual sister, Sacinque Laurel Boucher, has brought to us. If folks want to join in with me, that's lovely. Please, if you would place your hand on your heart and sort of gather all that is human about us, all that has brought us here to this space today, and we're going to offer that up to Creator. And as I say the sacred word, you could join me if you'd like. Oh, and as we offer this up to our Creator, the Creator may observe that and then give us something as a gift in our hand that we can then return to our hearts. So again, one more time, take a deep breath, bringing all that's human to us to offer. Oh, blessed be. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Vicki, and I'm going to make an offering to the Divine Feminine through a poem called "The Charge of the Goddess," which was written by Doreen Valiente. I, who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon among the stars and the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me. For I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that your seeking and yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. Who gets the mic next? Does this go to you, Jamal? Are you next? Oh. Where does this go?
So, my dear friends, again, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you. As is our tradition, since I'm a chant junkie, let's start with a chant. Allahu Allah, praising divinity, spirit, God, whatever your belief system is, knowing that when we praise divinity, God doesn't become holy, we become holy. Okay. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Just the beloved women now. Just the beloved men. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Family all together. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. One softly. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Twice aloud. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. I'm becoming just very still for a few moments. Okay, my dear friends, the topic today is Sanctuary for Transformation. So I want to start by just turning it around a little bit. How has this sanctuary become transformed? Let me start with that. Since I've been here, as I always say, since my hair was black for, I think, 27, 28 years coming to this place. So I think the first thing is about transformation of the sanctuary is the name has changed. It used to be called New Age Christian Church. Then, when the Circle of Love, our group came in here, and this place was given to us for free, that's another long story, we named it Interfaith Community Sanctuary. And there used to be a beautiful cross here, a large cross. And we kept it. We said, this is a Christian country. We need to honor Christianity. And our prayer is that may all church become like us. A bit of pride there, where we honor all different traditions. Then some years went by, and then we renamed it to Interfaith Community Sanctuary. Again, we had a lot of debates about that. And then we decided, again, with a lot of reverence and respect, to remove the cross and respectfully put it somewhere else. The idea being that we proclaim all the time that interfaith is not about conversion. It is about completion, becoming a more complete, developed human being. I repeat, interfaith is not about conversion, it is about completion, becoming a more evolved, more perfected human being. This is what life is all about, actually. More Christ-like, Buddha-like, Elohim-like. Okay, what else transformation? Over the decades, this place has really been beautified. The gold out there, look up there, the stars. If you go downstairs, there's a labyrinth, all by members of our congregation. And then there used to be ancient, beautiful pews here all the time. And we changed that, but now we have chairs. So this is really about, if I have to be metaphorical, about really developing, cultivating an inner spaciousness. That is what, do you mind managing a chair for, yeah. And making the place beautiful, what do the sages say? Our souls love beauty. Our souls love beauty. Okay, so just be with that. What other main transformation has happened? Deciding what constitutes the governing body, who makes decisions. we have now what is called the guiding council that makes decisions. We have, this is a non-profit. We have board members, but we have what we call defanged the board members. And members of the congregation have an equal say in decision making. But what I want you to know is this is after years and years of experimentation, learning. If I remember Karen, who has passed away, she asked me to go to Thailand, also to Utah, to learn all those different ways governing is made, which are non-hierarchical. So, for example, when I went to Utah, it was for a 1-week study of what is called, maybe some of you have heard this, it was a very popular term, appreciative inquiry. Any problems we have in corporations or in relationships, rather than explore what has gone wrong, start with the investigation, exploration, reflection on what is working, what is going well. And through that, new ideas, creative insights arise, wisdom arises. So anyhow, through all of that, we decided the main governing decision-making body should be what today we call, it had many different names, the guiding council. And I have a lot of pastors who ask me, wow, tell me more about, particularly they're interested in how did you defang the board members? Because if you know anything about church, the governing situation, and in my life, I've been so privileged to counsel a lot of pastors, and the biggest problem is, even if one board member causes a problem, it creates havoc in the entire institution. And the main cry was, oh my God, this person was such a nice person, I was their friend, but the moment they became a board member, they became monstrous. The power got to their head. So that really impacted us. How do we change that? Okay, what else do I want you to know? I'd like you to really understand this, that how do you do an interfaith service? I travel a lot when I go to the international conferences. The biggest question they ask is, okay, I understand you have a center called Interfaith Community, they call it center, but how can you have services which embraces all religions? So in that sense, we are actually very, very unique. There's no place like this, and it's not a boast, it's a fact, where people of different religions or no religion, because that's the biggest movement, the biggest group, spiritual but not religious. How do you do services? There are big places like in Omaha, the biggest one is in Taipei, Taiwan, where you have different houses of worship together, but they have different houses of worship, not one place. So this is a question I'm asked most often. So how do you do an interfaith service in the month? So what we have done after a lot of reflection, discussion, debates over the years, come up with this particular template I'd like you to know. The first week, we have somebody from the outside from whom we can learn. The Baha'i faith, the Wiccan faith, the Sikh faith, for example, someone we can learn from. The second week, we have something called universal worship. These days, it happens to be from the Sufi tradition, but it really is about learning the wisdom from the different traditions. Third week, I speak as a minister about Islam and Eastern traditions. Fourth week, my co-minister, Sally Jo, as it is now, she actually speaks, but always having a member of the congregation with her, indicating our belief that we are all teachers and students alike. A member of the congregation can also become a minister. And when there's a fifth week, we have a dialogue. I and Sally Jo, we dialogue with members of the congregation. So just to know that, and think about ways you can allow that to evolve, improve, become more creative. Okay, in what other ways has there been transformation of this sanctuary? After 2001, this beautiful local church building here also began to have, and this is not a boast again, it's a fact, national repercussions. And how? There was the emergence of the Interfaith Amigos. Myself and a rabbi and a pastor, and we began to get invitations from all over to go and speak about how can you have peace between Muslims, Jews, and Christians. And we got fantastic coverage from New York Times, CBS Evening News, CNN, CBC from Canada, BBC, Christian Science Monitor, Christian Century. It just goes on and on and on. So it also became sort of national in that sense. People are wondering, so how do you do those Interfaith Amigos? And I've heard you have an Interfaith Center. A lot of interest. What does it mean to be interfaith? How do you actually practice interfaith? So this local church began to have also a national footing. What else about the transformation? We've had programs here where we've done global outreach. It started with members of our congregation here really supporting a school for women in my ancestral village. That extended to establishing a medical clinic. It raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then Project Ethiopia, members of our congregation, they'd gone to Ethiopia. Sally Jo is very involved in that. Project Ethiopia, in the Bangladesh one, Sally Jo is involved, Susan Kingston is involved, others are involved. And then there was also, besides Project Ethiopia, Peace Camp. Doing Peace Camp with youth both here in Uganda and in India. So it began to have a global outreach. There was a huge transformation. And then just maybe I'm missing a few things, but also to let you know that our population is small, our congregation here, but we have been collaborating, cooperating with so many houses of worship. So before a pandemic, we used to work very actively with UCUCC. Who knows what that stands for?
Let's see if I can remember. UCC? Oh, sorry, University Congregational United Church of Christ.
Give her a hand. We had lots of programs there. That was Brother Don's church till he moved to Minneapolis. Then the other group he worked with was a Jewish synagogue, Bet Aleph, in Bellevue. Then a universal group called Nirankari Mission. And the fourth one, where we had most of our programs, was actually Catholic Church, St. Patrick's. We had so many programs there. And so many times Interfaith Amigos came here, we had a whole variety of programs with them. Now, after our pandemic, all that has ceased. And now we're establishing a wonderful relationship with Unity of Linwood. They do lots of wonderful interfaith work. Nirankari Mission, St. Joseph's, St. Patrick's has closed down. Many churches are closing down. And also now we are starting a relationship with Center for Spiritual Living. Okay, I could go on and on, but you might think, oh, Jamal, once again, you're exaggerating. You like to praise and say things, but it kind of exaggerated. Actually, I am not surprised that we, this small little interfaith community sanctuary, won a global prize. Every year there's a global competition all over the world, and is sponsored by United Nations and administered by the Kingdom of Jordan. They decide what are the 3 organizations that are doing the best interfaith work all over the world. And guess what? We won the prize a few years ago, prize number 2, and with that we got some money also. So when I travel, after we won that prize, I've done a little bit of traveling because pandemic came. People will recognize, what I was doing. You're the one with the Interfaith Center that won that prize, that international prize. So I'm not saying all of this because I want to boast. I'm saying how proud I am. I'm saying this because really it is a responsibility on us to continue to deepen the work, not to rest on our laurels, but to be even more creative so we can evolve and go deeper and deeper and deeper and make wonderful changes. Okay, so much for that. Just be with that while I get on to the other topic. I'm watching the time also, so I'll uncharacteristically make it short. The topic is personal transformation. You see, if you study all the religions, they say it has to start by you becoming a seeker. Otherwise, I'm in a hypnotic trance. I am what is called, Jamal, you're living a life of manageable depression. How do you get beyond that? Could be anything. Think about it. So I want to ask you to think about your life. What made you a seeker? For the Buddha, and for many of us, it was a question. What was his question? Why would a mother want to give birth to a child who would inevitably grow old, grow sick, and die? It doesn't make sense. Why would a mother want to give birth to a child like that who would grow old, become sick, and die? That changed his life. And that was the seed, the root that created what we today call Buddhism. Buddha was not his name. Buddhism means, Bud means intelligence, awareness. So was there a question? Or was it like Gandhi, who, if you know his life, he was totally helpless, shy, no self-esteem, till he read one verse from the Hindu scriptures, truth is God. And that splashed in his heart. Just that one sentence, truth is God. Have you come across some verse, something from the scriptures, poetry, story, that really resonated within you, changed your life, transformed you in some ways, or started your journey of transformation? So you become a seeker. It could be a teacher. Like Rumi met Shams-e Tabriz. In Sufism we say, the true teacher kindles the light. The oil is already in the lamp. The true teacher kindles the light. The oil is already in the lamp. Have you met such teacher or teachers that started you on your journey? But most of all, the sages say, because we're unmindful and because it's a world of opposites, it's most often a tragic event that makes us a seeker. Death of a loved one, divorce, change of circumstances. Then suddenly, like in my case when I lost both my parents, one after the other in the space of 20 days, I always remember that verse by heart of Hafiz who says, something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need for God absolutely clear. Please feel free to cough. It's wonderful. Please. Please. Something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need for God absolutely clear. You see, what happens is, when you become a seeker, the Sufis say, you move from a knowledge of the tongue to a knowledge of the heart. I'm 75 years old. I've seen many deaths. Part of my ministry is doing that. Not a lot of it, but part of it. But now suddenly, Jamal, you're going to die too. It's no longer a knowledge of the tongue. It's now a knowledge of the heart. Wow. Where are you going, Jamal? It becomes more real. Okay, so just think about it. What made you a seeker? It could be a series of events, but something happened that, like the Buddha would say, woke you up. And you got out of this existence of manageable depression, out of this hypnotic trance. What was it for you? Because these are sacred moments. It could be a combination. These are sacred moments. By the way, I've not mentioned one thing which is also very important, something joyous. I always mention this Buddhist friend of mine who said, I'm not understanding this concept called God till he saw the Grand Canyon. And she said, something opened up in me. There has to be a creator who made this Grand Canyon. It could be just watching a sunset, could transform you. Or a baby being born. In our culture we say when a baby is born, it's not the baby is born, that's great. A mother is born. A father is born. That could change your life. Okay, I want to move on in the few minutes I have. So, transformation. What is transformation? If you ask the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, they've talked a lot about that. And they say it's really about how can I experience joy in my life? Authentic joy, even in times of difficulty. They make a distinction between joy and happiness. Happiness goes up and down with, the wheel goes up and down of life. Good times, bad times. But joy, it's a state of equanimity. I am happy in good times. In sad times, I am sad, but there's an element of hope. I'm still experiencing some joy. So how do I do that? How do I transform myself? So very quickly, they say the qualities of the mind. They had a meeting for several days, Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, and they discussed this. So they came up with qualities of the mind and qualities of the heart. Oh, by the way, I wanted to also share, I always carry this in my wallet, so I put it in my pocket here, to remind Brother Jamal, I call myself Brother Jamal, if I can see it correctly, yeah. Don't tell people how much of the Quran you have memorized. Let them see the Quran in your actions. Feed the hungry. Clothe the needy. Be merciful to the orphans. Forgive those who have mistreated you. Be good to your parents. It's not about how far you have reached into the Quran, but really about how far the Quran has reached in you. That's transformation. That's real transformation. Let's just be with it for a few moments. Oh, I also carry this because I love those 8 qualities that Desmond Tutu Dalai Lama came up with. So the first one is, I'll refer to this if I forget. The first one is, let's acknowledge there is suffering in life. It's a world of opposites. There'll be joy, there'll be sorrow. But Brother Jamal, how do you deal with your inevitable suffering? Heal it, but then the way you reframe your suffering, it determines your character for life. I'm quoting the Buddha and the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. Their words are, it sculpts the destiny of your life. The way you reframe your suffering. So for example, if I think about my life, what are the main traumas I've had in my life? Suffering, death of my parents. So what is the reframing? Wow, I finally became aware that there really is an invisible world. And there is traffic and trade in the invisible world. And for the first time, these words, which I repeat all the time because it so impacted me, those words of Rumi, Brother Jamal, flee not the invisible world. Flee not the invisible world because it is a place of income. And this visible world, this place of more or less, is a place of expenditure. So, for example, all the sages say, Jamal, if you want to be happy in life, joy in life, transform in life, work equally in visible and invisible worlds. Okay, what other trauma? Now, I've always talked about how this place was given to us for free. What I've not talked about too much is when it was given to us for free, there was a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of opposition. I won't get into the history of it, which lasted for 9 months. I remember I used to walk here up and down I used to consult Karen, and we would never come here or come here very little because it was so filled, this whole place. Now it is so beautiful. It's a place of joy. It's a place of comfort. It used to be a place of pain. I cannot tell you how much. And I used to walk up and down. I remember I used to say, oh God, when will this ever end? When will this ever end? And it took 9 months. But after 9 months, suddenly, in just 2 or 3 days, everything changed. There is traffic and trade in those invisible worlds. Things are happening, which I have no idea. And I and late Karen talked about it. What did it teach us? Wow, keep working in the invisible world. Keep at it. That's why I love this American phrase. Brother Jamal, keep on trucking, keep on trucking, keep on trucking. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. As long as you believe you're sincere, you're humble, and you believe it's true. So we learned about patience, which is why I love that saying, the patience shown by the rose to the thorn is what keeps it fragrant. The patience shown by the moon to the dark night is what keeps it radiant. I learned about patience. I learned about anger. I was so angry. Yes, righteous anger is beautiful, but restrain your anger, because if you don't restrain it, it degenerates into revenge. It consumes you. Which is why I love to quote again and again the verse from the Quran, when you're very, very angry, do what is right, but, Brother Jamal, lower your voice. And Rumi says, yes, lower your voice because it is rain that grows flowers, not thunder. And the second piece of advice from the Sufis is, and change the tone of your voice. Change the tone of your voice. Al-Ghazali, a very famous Sufi master, says, the tone of your voice is more important in times of anger than the content of what you're saying. The tone of your voice is more important than the content of what you're saying. Just be with that for a few moments. The other thing we learned that I and Karen talked about a lot, Brother Jamal, don't gossip. Gossiping is as bad as creating the gossip or initiating gossip, listening to gossip. Don't listen to gossip. It's as harmful as being gossipy. That's why I love those words of the Buddha. Brother Jamal, dwelling on your brother's or sister's faults multiplies your own. Or the words of Rumi, which I love, veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. Veil the faults of others so yours might be veiled. So see, from this trauma, we learned a lot about ourselves and how to conduct myself in life, which has paid me a lot of dividends. Okay, very quickly now. Second one is, be humble. Brother Jamal, be humble. The sea is the sea because it lies lower than the rivers. I always remember that quote. Or other quote, a tree with fruits is the one that bows in obedience, in humility. It is laden with fruits. Can you be humble? So what does it mean to you? I'm going to ask you, think about yourself. In what ways can I be more humble? For me, it means, can I admit my mistakes whenever I realize it? Meaning, I've learned to be quick in apologies. To say, I'm sorry, I was mistaken. Brother Jamal, don't delay, don't delay. Don't delay. It gets harder and harder if you delay. That poetry by Rumi has really struck me, although it's totally different. Rumi writes a poetry that says, actually he didn't write, he uttered, my poems resemble the bread of Egypt. My poems resemble the bread of Egypt. One night passes over it, it becomes stale. You can't eat it anymore. It becomes hard. So gobble them up while they're still fresh. Brother Jamal, apologize as soon as you can. You make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. That's being humble. So I'll be quiet. What does it mean to you to be humble? Right now in your life, how can I be authentically humble, less holier than thou attitude? This determines your degree of transformation in life. Okay, third one, laughter. Laugh a lot. At one time in this congregation here, we used to do laughter yoga, put our hands up and just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, and everybody would laugh their heads off, you know. It was infectious. And that is a very fast-growing spiritual movement started in India called laughter yoga. Do check it up in Uncle Google. Google it. Laughter yoga. So for me, I love those mullah fictional stories. The one that really impacted me at an early age was about life. So the story is the mullah is on his donkey, rushing to the marketplace on his donkey. The mullah is on his donkey, rushing to the marketplace, and when his family and friends say, hey, mullah, I want to talk to you. No, I'm so busy, I can't talk because, I'm busy. Busy doing what? They shout out. And the mullah replies, I'm looking for my donkey. So what does this remind me of for me? For example, wow, Jamal, make time for family and friends. That's going to make you happy, joy, and bring you joy in life. And if you have a problem, become still. Become still. Don't be like the mullah on his donkey looking for his donkey. So I won't go into other stories that have really impacted me, but that really made a difference through laughter. Okay, fourth one is acceptance. I'll just touch upon it. Can I accept any changes in my life? Death of a loved one, a divorce, change of fortunes, change of relationship. It doesn't mean I approve of it, but by accepting it, I can improve on it. But I've got to refrain from avoiding or denying it. So ask yourself, in my life, what am I denying or avoiding? Can I accept? Okay, very quickly over the hearts, and we fast about that, although it's a very important one. The first one that Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu say, a quality of the heart you've got to work on to transform yourself and experience joy is learning the art of forgiveness. Forgiveness. Can I forgive? Forgiveness from God. The Quran says, say you who have transgressed against your own soul, despair not of the mercy of God, for God forgives all wrongdoings. But the Prophet Muhammad said, yes, God forgives, but return not to the wrongdoing. Return not to the wrongdoing, the Prophet said, as milk returns not to the udder. That's real forgiveness. But ask yourself, oh God, please forgive me for what? Ask yourself, what do I need to be forgiven for? Divinity really forgives, but make it resolution. I'm not going to return to that. Okay, the other one, which is a big one for which I see people email me. I've done a lot of therapy on that. Forgiving others. Every tradition is beautiful to forgive others. But don't forget, if you forgive others, please take care of the pain of the wound within you that has been perpetrated by the perpetrator. If I don't do that, if I just say, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I could be harming myself more if I don't do the work of healing the pain and the wound within me. If I don't do that, the Buddha says, you are whitewashing a burning house. You are whitewashing a burning house. So the therapy that people come to me for is, how do I prevent that whitewashing a burning house? How do I heal the wound within me when I forgive someone? That's a big one. Third one is asking for forgiveness. And the traditions say, be sincere. If you're asking for forgiveness, is it just because you got caught or because you're really sincere in asking for forgiveness? And if you're asking for forgiveness, can you make restitution? Can you take care of the harm you have caused to the best of your ability? And the fourth one is, please find techniques, and there's so many different techniques, of forgiving yourself. And in Sufism, there's a wonderful mantra, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Oh God, I beg repentance, not because out of guilt, but because of my lack of awareness. And it's like a song. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. I know the Salijo does it very beautifully, this particular. I beg repentance because the truth is, I need to ask for repentance. My grandfather used to say when he used to go across the meadow to lead prayers, he said, unknowingly I've stepped on so many ants, killing them, creating massacres. Destroyed so many spiders' webs. Even just, I always repeat this, there was a wonderful documentary by Oxford or Cambridge. They show the simple act of watering the lawn. They had all those cameras, hidden cameras here, there, and the grass. We caused so much panic among those ants and spiders and different, being crushed, being drowned. We have no idea. No idea. I'm a meat eater. But have you ever seen a slaughterhouse? That wonderful verse from the Beatles, if the walls of slaughterhouses were made of glass, if the walls of slaughterhouses were made of glass, we'd all be vegetarians. We just take it for granted. So at least we can express gratitude for the sacrifices those animals are making. I saw the slaughter of cows in my village, and I don't take beef after that, very sparingly. You know, I've not brought myself to see the slaughter of chickens. So just begging forgiveness. God, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Out of my lack of awareness. Our lack of awareness. Okay, the next one is, can I practice gratitude in my life? Can I practice gratitude? If nothing else, just weave in the simple practice of gratitude in your everyday life. Just very quick insights. The Quran says, everything on earth and the heavens is extolling the limitless glory of God. So if somebody asks me, what is a big deal about gratitude? Well, everything is extolling the limitless glory of God, praising God. When I praise and express gratitude to God, I am joining a cosmic chorus. I am joining a cosmic chorus, and I feel uplifted, elevated. The second one from the traditions is, especially if you're expressing gratitude in times of difficulty, I'm expressing gratitude for unknown blessings already on their way. I love that story of Jamal. If somebody gives you an expensive hat to wear, a beautiful hat, thank the giver, the small G, but also thank the big G who gave you the head to put the hat on. So just be with that. In what ways can I be grateful? It could change my life. Okay, very quickly, the next one. Compassion. I won't get into it. We've talked about this a lot. But in what ways can I be compassionate with myself and with others? Just remember that. What techniques can I employ to be gentle, compassionate with myself and with others? Okay, last one. You'll be happy to know. Coming to an end. Generosity. That could change your life. So I love the story of God coming down in the guise of a beggar and asked two other people, can you please give me some money? I'm a beggar. And one gives a measly copper coin. The other one gives 5 copper coins. And what does this beggar do? Who is God? He transforms it into gold and returns it to those astonishing 2 people. And then God disappears. Meaning, spirit, life, God can offer to you only what you can offer life in service to God's creation. So ask yourself, I ask myself, Brother Jamal, how can I be more generous with myself, with my family, with my community members? That could change my life more than I know. And lastly, community. Even prophets sought companions. We know from all the different studies, Harvard study, Brigham Young University study, They study what creates happiness in life. Number one was having relationships. Doesn't have to be perfect, reliable relationships. Number one in all the different studies. So the sages say, and I'll end with that, Brother Jamal, but don't forget one thing which is so critical. Develop and cultivate a relationship with yourself. Love yourself. Have a relationship with yourself, because every relationship outside of yourself is a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. So I'll do a meditation on that. But before that, I see Amber is here, and Amber is an expert on Rumi. Amber, do you have a Rumi, any poem you can dazzle this wonderful group here with? Come on over. This is our poetess, our in-house poetess, Amber. Okay, Amber.
Take a pickaxe
Take a pickaxe, she's saying.
and break open your stony heart. Your heart is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter is buried in your chest.
Say it again, read it again.
Take a pickaxe and break open your stony heart. Your heart is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter is buried in your chest.
All right. Do another one of this? Oh, she got another one, okay.
What is this love and laughter bubbling up from inside of me? Listen here, it's the sound of the soul's waking up.
You know, we talked about laughter. Say it again.
What is this love and laughter bubbling up from inside of me? Listen here, it's the sound of the soul's waking up.
So Amber is telling us laughter is a sound of a soul waking up. So let's all wake up. Let's do one thing. Put your hands up and laugh. Put your hands up. Thank you, Amber. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, my friends, a very short meditation. Close your eyes kindly and be comfortable. And then, for a few seconds, focus on your nostril and just be present with the breath. Just this much. And just for your information, this was the Buddha's most favorite technique of meditation. Just this much. Which is what? Focusing on the nostril. And being present as I inhale and as I exhale. Just this much. Okay, gently letting this go, but you can do this for a long time in your house or other places. Now focus on the lowest part of your spine, the sacrum area. In Hinduism, it's called the first chakra. Chakra means wheel, a wheel-like opening at the base of the spine. And then through intention equals action, send a beautiful cord of divine light flowing from the first chakra, going down. Way down, any color by the way, any color, a cord of divine light flowing from the base of the spine, going down, way down, deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth, connecting us to the womb of Mother Earth, feeling centeredness, a sense of belonging, rooted, supported by Mother Earth. Okay, letting go of that. And now focus on the crown of your head and make an intention to send a beautiful cord of light, any color, going upwards, way up, higher, higher, even higher, piercing those mysterious realms and connecting us to the heart of heaven. Feel that, bonding with mystery. And now letting go of this, and this time focusing on the physical heart, a most mysterious spiritual organ. This is a beautiful revelation that says, God says, Spirit says to us, Beloved one, divinity says, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart. I can be contained in the pure, loving heart of my devotee. So be with that mystery that divinity is outside of us, also inside of us, in the innermost chambers of our heart. And here are two practices I would request you to consider. I do it all my life, as often as possible. In my meditation, also waking hours, focus on your heart, where divinity also resides, and tell your heart, I love you, but with feeling, I love you. If that's uncomfortable, someone from our class, Miwan, taught us, you can tell your heart, you are loved, but with feeling, unabashedly, no matter how awkward it might feel initially, I love you, or you are loved. This can transform my life just by saying those words again and again and again and again. I love you, or you are loved. I love you. You are loved. So this is one half of the practice. I'll be quiet. Just do it again a few times. Say it again and again. You can never overdo it. Okay, letting go of this. And the last part, which I do also in meditation and in my waking hours as often as I can, focusing on the inner spaciousness of the heart, which is infinite, the wellspring of love, healing, empowerment, joy. Focus on the heart and through intention, pour out light and love in an outward, expansive direction. Pouring out light and love. Unabashedly again, pouring out light and love to stones, trees, if your eyes are open, to animals, to people. So just to summarize, my main meditation practice is telling the heart I love you, or you are loved, and pouring out light and love as often as possible. So just 10 seconds, send out light and love from the heart. Radiating light and love. Okay, let's bring this to an end by chanting together, Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And be in that wonderful state while Brother Steve does another piece of music. Thank you, Brother Steve. Let's go like this to Brother Steve. Thank you. So, my dear friends, as we are coming to a close, this is a time for sharing our wealth. Our prayer is that donate in any way you can, in money, in services, in giving of yourself in any volunteer work. And we pray whatever you offer us is returned to you manifold. Do you want to say something? Yes, and anybody wants to donate online, you can do it, and we have a QR code, right? Okay.
Also, on the website, there is a place to donate. You just need to click the button that says donate.
You see, we are so generous. We make it easy for you to donate. Yes. Wow, I'm transformed already.
Folks, remember, you can't take it with you, but you can send some ahead.
Sally Joe, in the meantime, you can talk about upcoming gatherings. Yeah. Oh, you want to bless this first? You want to? Okay. I'll hold it for you, yeah. Stop up there. Yeah. Sally Joe will bless this money to return to you manifold.
Well, I have a Quranic verse that's been going through my head a lot these days.
Oh, okay.
May I share it
Please,
now
of
with
course.
this?
Yeah, yeah.
This comes from the Holy Quran. What surah is it? I think it's Surah 3, verse 100, I think, is the right verse. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Asbiru wa sabiru wa asbiru wa sabiru wa sabitu wa aktaru allaha la'alakum tuflihuna. So the translation is, "O you who have attained to faith, Ya ayyuha al-ladina amanu, asbiru, be patient. Sabiru, be especially patient in adversity. Atiru, sabitu, remain connected to your sustainer. And always be in remembrance of your sustainer. And in this way, perhaps you may gain felicity." So I love that.
So Sally Joe, has studied the Quran. She's also a Christian. I think your father was Jewish, if I remember. And you have connection with Buddhism, Hinduism. So you are multi-insured by her. So blow on this could be returned in the manifold of this one. Thank you, Sally. So you want to say something about the upcoming gatherings?
Yes, thank you, Jamal. And thank you for that beautiful service and the music. And oh my gosh, what a beautiful gathering we have today. The gatherings continue. We have so many wonderful things happening here at our sanctuary. Downstairs, after the service, the real service begins, as Jamal likes to say, over food and drink. And we have a potluck lunch going on. So please join us downstairs right after the service, and we will be able to be in community even more and learn more about each other. After every service, we gather downstairs, and we also have our guiding council meeting after the first Sunday of every month. Now, next Sunday is the fourth Sunday, and that's the time when I share with a congregant a message for all of us, again, related to our theme of Sanctuary for the Divine and creating sanctuary together. And Brother George Ramirez will be joining me next Sunday for the fourth Sunday service. We also have some events coming up in this coming month. As you know, this is the month of Ramadan, and for those in the Muslim tradition, it's a very holy month and a very special month when the first verses of the Quran were delivered to the Prophet Muhammad when he became a prophet in the caves in the mountains above Hira, and he received the first verses of the Quran from the angel Gabriel. And this is celebrated on something called the Night of Destiny, or the Night of Power. And we will be celebrating that here in this sanctuary on Thursday, March 24th, March 27th, Thursday, March 27th, at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Brother Jamal and Sister Ann Holmes Redding, Bahia Ann Holmes Redding, will be offering a service of explanation and readings and meditations and chanting around that beautiful sacred event. And then after the event, after the service, we break fast, those who have been fasting, and you're welcome to the service, whether you're Muslim or not, or whether you've been fasting or not. We don't, ask for any requirements of joining us, of course. This is an interfaith place. And, but those who have been fasting will break fast at 7:30 with dates and water, and then we'll have the Islamic prayer take place, the sunset prayer. And everybody, again, you're welcome to either observe it or join it. It's a fun time to get to know another prayer tradition. And prayer is prayer, right? You can pray whatever you want at that time. And then we go downstairs and we have an iftar dinner, share our food and beverages, and break our fast for that day.
I just come for the food and fellowship.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. We welcome everybody. That is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Okay, and then we like food around here. Have you noticed that? I've mentioned it at least 3 times. Well, here comes another time. We're having an event called Dinner with Others, and Jamal mentioned that we're doing a lot of collaborating with Unity of Linwood, which is a Unity church in Linwood, and just up the freeway, about a half an hour north of us. And on Saturday, April 5th, at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 8, we're having something called Dinner with Others, and we've invited, and they've invited, and many other people have invited their congregations, their congregants from other houses of worship or people they know, family members, friends, to join us for, this is a dinner where we take time to share bread and soup and salad and a nice vegetarian meal together. And we also have a kind of a conversation around questions that are placed in the middle of the table that are, people choose one at a time and answer the question on a personal level. It's usually not necessarily about your religious beliefs or anything about your religion, but about yourself, your personal self, and the kind of experiences you've had in your life that have led you to wherever you are in your life. It's a good way to get to know people that you don't otherwise know. And we even ask if you come with a friend or a partner to sit at a different table and get to know different people. And during this time, we've had several of these dinners, even already this year, or in 2024, we had 3 or 4 of these dinners in different communities, and they're very eye-opening and heart-opening. And it's a wonderful time to get to know others and to hear about their personal experiences. So that's a free event. We do ask you to register. And we do ask for $5 at the registration, mainly because it helps people show up if they paid a little bit ahead of time and they know we have. Well, seating, yeah, we have a seating limited to 80 people, and we do provide the dinner, and Unity of Linwood has provided a beautiful space for us to meet there. They have more space, which is why we're going there this time. We've also done it here in our own fellowship hall, and we do need to know ahead, so we bring the right amount of food. Okay, so that's why we ask you to register on brown paper tickets, and there's another little QR code here. And we have our own, also an event coming up on the 5th Sunday in March, which is March 30th, right? And this will be our annual retreat for our membership. And, everyone is invited if you're a member of this congregation. If you're not sure if you're a member or not, come see me. I can check on that for you. We can make arrangements. And we're going to meet after the Sunday service that day. The Sunday service will take place here as usual, and Jamal and I will run that service, and it'll be a little bit brief that Sunday so that we can go downstairs afterward. Again, we'll provide lunch for everybody, and we would like everybody to stay with us for another 3.5 hours from, noon till 3:30. And we have a series of events planned where we will, again, go deeper into conversation with each other about Interfaith Community Sanctuary, the future of our sanctuary, and how we're going to evolve into the fullness of our being as a community, much of what Jamal has been talking about this morning. We have a past, we have a present, and we have a future. How can we, we need input on how can we become more responsive to everybody's needs in these times. So please plan to join us for that. Again, it will be a time for us to really come come into community, as Jamal ended his service with how important that is, and get to know each other better and be able to share all that we have within us. And then, what else am I forgetting? Joey, you usually have something I forgot.
Thank you, Sally Joe. Hi. Hi, I'm Joey. Good to be with you this morning. And I just want to announce that we have one more Saturday of spring cleaning here at ICS. So we have really been working hard, rolling up our sleeves. And if you are able to join us next Saturday from 10 till 2 is when I'll be here. If you can't be there the whole time, just an hour or two is very helpful. And I want to thank everyone who has joined me thus far in that effort. Thanks.
Joey is a cosmic custodian. She really takes care of this place.
And we have the eyeglasses that are up here in the box that we're collecting, used eyeglasses of any sort, reading glasses, prescription glasses that you've outgrown. You know how you have trouble throwing those away. Don't throw them away. We're just opening an eyeglass clinic at the clinic in Bangladesh that Jamal was referring to in his home village. We have a medical clinic for women and children, and we've just recently opened the eye exam part of the clinic, and we have an eye doctor coming once a week. And Jamal's sister Isu, Dr. Isu Rahman, will be taking those and on her trip to Bangladesh in April. So these will be out all through March and maybe the first week of April until, I'm not sure what date Isu's leaving. Oh, she's leaving at the end of April. Okay, so we'll keep it out a little longer. I wasn't sure what date she was leaving, but she will take those back for us, and the blessings will continue to flow for all of us for our generosity in providing things that others need. Any other? Okay, Vicki. Yeah.
Good morning again. If you are interested in doing any of the things that you've seen here today, and may have seen many times, the offering to the Divine Feminine, calling in the ancestors, the land acknowledgement, and other things that we offer for you. If you are interested in doing it at any time, please come see me so I can put your name on the list and we can check in with you on what day you would like to do it. And so please let us know. Thank you. Yes.
I wanted to invite folks to something that it's outside of here, but in the spirit of interfaith. Next Friday at Bet Aleph Synagogue, we're celebrating Purim. For those of you who don't know what Purim is, it is the celebration of the time when Esther saved the entire Jewish population from slaughter back in the days of the Persian Empire. And we don't do this, but the saying is that on that day you're supposed to get so drunk that you cannot tell the difference between bless Mordecai and curse Haman. We don't really do that, but we're having a wonderful service there, and we read the book of Esther. It's only like 3 pages long. We usually do it at Bet Aleph by a different theme, like a musical or that. So if you come, you're going to see the Beach Boys version of the book of Esther. It's a real hoot. You know, we do this every year, different things. We've done Hamilton, everything. I want to give you a bit of trivia here. A section of scripture in Hebrew is called the Megillah. For those of you old enough to remember the saying, the whole Megillah, that's where it comes from. It comes from Purim, where we read the whole Megillah. But thank you. Oh, it's at Bet Aleph Synagogue, which is in the Center for Spiritual Living, very near here. Yeah, really, like starts at 7 p.m. They know him. It starts at 7 p.m. And if you can, wear like a Hawaiian shirt or something, but you don't have to. Okay, and it's a lot of fun. You'll also get to learn about a lovely pastry called the Hamantash, which actually means Haman's ear. But they're like fruit-filled pastries. They're really good. So there. Oh, my class. I'll never get away from it. Once a month on second Saturdays at 3 p.m., we're doing a class on how people of, I'll say, a spiritual bent, how do they face injustice? What can we do when we see injustice? And the way we're doing it is we're taking writings from different folks. Each month we're doing a different religion, their writings. Last month we did Hinduism, and we took the writings of Gandhi. We took his chapter that he wrote on the untouchables of his time. He called them the Harijan, God's people. We read that, and then we developed a discussion on who are the untouchables and the outcasts in our time that we see, and what can we do to be allies to them. This time around, we're doing Buddhism, and I picked a, I think, wonderful thing by Robert Thurman. That's a commentary on a sutra that talks about social justice. But it'll be second Saturday of April at 3 p.m., and it's hybrid, so you can come in person. If you're around the area, please come in person, because human contact is great. But if you can't, it's also on Zoom. Okay. Can I go now? The Friday thing is at 7.
And the events and classes that take place here at ICS are all on our website as well. And there are many throughout the week. We're not going to hold you here, but do look at our website at our upcoming gatherings, and you can also sign up to get those emailed to you every Monday morning, the upcoming gatherings for that week. Okay.
And also every Thursday we have silence, a program on silence, just sitting in silence every Thursday at 7. So even on that night of destiny, the people who come for silence will be downstairs sitting in silence. Okay, yes. So we also have, thank you, we also have prayers of the Islamic tradition every Friday at 1:30 on Zoom, all on Zoom. Okay, my friends, we have said a lot. So to my wonderful friends there on cyberspace, thank you so much for your presence. It has been a blessing. Sayonara, goodbye, salam alaikum, auf Wiedersehen, bye-bye. Okay. Okay, my friends, before we go downstairs, as Sally Jo was saying, the real service starts downstairs over food and fellowship. But before that, if you have any comments